Looking through the lens, opinions of three friends. Looking through the lens, sometimes they don't make sense.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Through the Lens with your boys, the Unholy Trinity, plus our special guest for this WandaVision series, Mr. Kaijin.
Yeah.
And
I don't really
yeah,
what you guys call me.
oh good. And your boys are me, Patronus Gold, on my right, Mr. Zephyros,
How do you do?
and on my left, Mr. Sun Dude.
You've been into the howdy do recently, dear. What's up?
I'm just asking how you doing. You know,
I'm good. I'm doing good, thanks. I'm doing good.
that's good to know.
Yeah. Oh good. And what are we reviewing today? We're reviewing
No clue.
the third episode of WandaVision, the Disney Plus show. And this episode, titled Now in Color, it's about Wanda's pregnancy, Fritz's her power as she and Vision prepare for an accelerated delivery. Pretty good description, sure. The director is Matt Shackman, and it's written by Megan McDonnell, yep, Jack Schaefer, some other person, can't see. And it stars, as usual, you got your Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, Catherine Hayne, Teyona Paris, and David Payton, amongst others. Let's get into our first impressions. What do we think?
A lot more interesting
Yeah,
than the first two episodes. Like the second half, especially.
yeah.
Sure, yeah.
To me personally, I'll sum my thoughts up with saying it furthers the plot more, but I don't think the actual sitcom element for this is as strong as the previous two.
Yeah, because a lot of more plot points happened in this episode. Therefore,
Yeah,
they had
the
less
plot
time for a
moving
sitcomness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then, easy. Moving on to the acting. What do we say about the acting?
It's consistent to the rest of the series. They're all
Pretty
pretty
good, pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say David Payton has a bigger role as Herb, and yeah, you see a bit more of his acting here. Good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, easy. Onto the writing.
Well, more stuff happened.
Yeah.
The plot is definitely moving forward, yeah.
It
Mhm.
did. And I
It
mean,
definitely. Yeah. Sorry.
pregnancy thing is kind of. What was that about?
It was very out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of
it's
those
just
like
a
sitcom
sitcom
tropes
thing.
that they use sometimes.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, they use it in a bunch of sitcoms.
But if I'm right in inferring from what you guys are saying, it didn't really work that well in this episode.
Well, I guess
did
it's
it?
to reference their actual kids in the comics. I guess.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah,
twins, right?
there was some stuff. Yeah.
I guess that's like a connecting thing, but yeah.
Is the issue that it was pretty sudden?
Well, it's just
To
kind of
me
random, isn't it?
personally, it did feel less of like actual important plot and more of like a bit of it basically as like topic for
Referencing the comics.
that too, but like also I felt like it was more of the object that like the sitcom plot was revolving around. So
Yeah.
like less than actual important to the overall story, which
Mm.
but from what I'm understanding, it should be important to the overall story, but like I don't think they executed it that well in this one.
I think they tried to like make, like you said, like two different storylines between the sitcom and what's actually happening
Yeah.
throughout the whole series, and I think that's an interesting thing. That's an interesting thing to point on, except for the fact that I'm not actually sure whether they're going for that, and it looks like the children are definitely going to be something that will travel through the series and not just for this single sitcom episode.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not sure how this is going to play out in terms of, you know, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, expanding on, I guess, when I was talking about the sitcom, just in general, I felt like it just wasn't, it wasn't as strong as the last two episodes in terms of like comedy, for example, and I guess the overall story of the episode in terms of the sitcom.
Well, yeah, because they've obviously had to sacrifice a few things to progress the overarching plot forward, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do with the next few episodes, because I feel like they're gonna have to like strip away a lot of the sitcom stuff to actually fully incorporate the plot, because otherwise it's kind of like hindering one or the other, you know?
Yeah, it's like this this comedy stuff doesn't make sense in like for a more in place of a more serious plot, you know?
Yeah. Actually, that's a pretty good way to describe it to me. Yeah. But in terms of good stuff, I guess with the serious overall the overarching plot, we're definitely seeing more stuff actually happening. And we can kind of start formulating our own theories, which we can get to in spoiler zone, about the future of where this is going. And I'm very intrigued. Yeah. I guess yeah. Also, like unlike the last two episodes, I wasn't like super excited to see the next one to see where it was going, because they were doing like a tiny bit of reveal. This is like a full reveal of what's going on, kind of ish. So I'm actually like
Yeah.
invested.
I
You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
exactly say full either, because
Yeah, not complete. Yeah.
yeah, because this is the episode that currently has captured the most interest compared to the previous two.
Yeah.
Now I see that the plot has taken a big step forward.
Mhm.
Like went from like 1 to 100 pretty fast, and honestly that's where I'm interested. Like that's where it's taking my interest, rather than the first two episodes were just little tidbits with no real idea where the plot's going.
Yeah. I agree.
Mm.
Anything else you want to add to the writing?
Well, eventually they'll come soon enough to the actual simulation thing. But yeah, for now,
Eventually.
Yeah.
that's happening.
And I want to. I guess I'll reference. I think I said this in the last episode, but I think it was Paul Bettany or someone. He described that WandaVision is going to take place in basically 3 acts, like a movie, right?
Mm.
But the first act, which is the first 3 episodes. So I guess it's like it's the starting to discover sort of plot that's going through the 3 episodes. So it makes sense where it's like, then you get to the second one, which I guess will actually like show more of the real world and stuff. So yeah. It makes
I'm
sense.
waiting for someone to crack that pocket reality open like an egg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cinematography. What do we think about cinematography?
Colors.
Colors.
Yeah.
My zoomer eyes can finally rest with the present color.
Mm. I guess.
Unpopular opinion, but I like the old visuals. Yeah, but
I guess they had a bit newer camera techniques
Like different
from the
shots?
70s. Yeah, kind of thing.
yeah.
Based on 70s film techniques. But I didn't notice it that much, but apparently there were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice them either.
Still fairly standard, but I'm sure once
Vision's
when we
new
progress
haircut.
more,
Very nice.
very nice. Actually, you might as well just lead it right into the visuals, editing/visuals,
Yeah.
and you can talk a bit more about the 70s aesthetic. We got very Brady Bunch inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think it does what the first 2 episodes did, and like really captures that era of sitcoms very well.
Oh, a bit more visual effects, such as bird and like
yes.
a puff of red smoke.
And Vision hovering
Ah, yeah,
as he
that.
does.
And
Yeah.
some butterflies.
Actually, a lot more visual effects. There's a lot of when shit was going down, like the whole house is like fucking shaking and shit.
Them forgetting to color visions on.
Well,
Oh,
he was wearing long
yeah.
sleeves, so but there was a hole.
I actually didn't notice until you guys said that. Yeah. All right. Enough about editing and visuals.
Yeah,
Moving on to the music then.
music.
I feel like they did less of like the sitcom music throughout the episode compared to like the first 2 episodes.
I
There
think
was
that
still
also.
presence of laugh tracks in standard sitcom fashion.
Yeah.
I
There's
guess
a lot
that
more-
also.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I guess that also would relate to what we're saying about the writing and how, because the way that this episode is structured with the 2 storylines, so the music stuff has to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that there was a lot more suspenseful moments in here, but I got to use some like the more cinematic stuff.
Yeah.
However, they did get the intro song was very cool.
Oh, banger. Yeah.
I don't actually know the Brady Bunch intro, but the intro sequence is based off the Brady Bunch intro, so I assume they're pretty similar.
Yeah. I'd assume so.
Yeah. Just glad it's
Uh,
music.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Anyway, if that's all we have to say, spoiler zone.
Yeah.
What is it?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Let's go through our notes here. Dio, do you want to elaborate? What the fuck, elaborate?
Nice.
Do you want to elaborate on Pregnant Wanda?
Yes, so to episode 3's sitcom plot point was Wanda be pregnant. And Vision is like, yo, this is weird. And because they're superhumans and not humans, the pregnancy happens all in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their children. What are their names?
The names be Tommy Vassetti
Brilliant.
and Billy Butcher.
Which you may or may not know are sorry, was it Wicked and Speed?
Yep, Wicked and Speed.
Wicked and Speed in the comics. So what are our theories? What do you think's gonna happen with the children?
There was the one comic which I showed you guys. I don't remember the
Maybe
exact
they'll
plot,
be in
but
Full House.
Perhaps, yeah. Mephisto basically impregnated Wanda through demon shit, and made these children, but it was only a tool for Wanda to like let them grow up so that he could end up controlling them and into some evil demon stuff, devil stuff. So
Yeah.
that's what it's looking like now. But the thing is that we get the impression that Wanda's in control as well. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not entirely sure.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, cool stuff. Next point, Vision. He realizes he's in a simulation. Kind of.
Kind of.
Not we don't know until we'll see the next episode if
He
we
was most likely on like the verge of a breakthrough, like a revelation.
yeah.
Yes.
And then Wanda, King Crimson's him back.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
So it definitely does show that these like that the fake Vision or even like the people in the simulation definitely do have their own sentience or are like aware or can be aware enough to realize that like they're in a simulation.
It also
that
shows
actually leads. Sorry.
that Wanda is in control of this simulation.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
But we are like that was pretty much confirmed from the second episode though, wasn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, because she rewinds shit and stuff. Though, okay, yeah, following from that, my theory that maybe the people in the simulation are Monica and Agnes are being held hostage against their will. What do you guys think about that?
They do be.
Yeah, maybe?
Yes.
Because Yeah, from how Herb, he knows he's there, but he doesn't want to he doesn't want Vision to know because they don't want to upset Wanda, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
They're afraid of Wanda.
because she controls the world,
Yeah.
so stuff happens.
Though, yeah, I think it's very interesting how Vision, like, is he an extension of Wanda's mind, or
No, he probably isn't. He if anything, he's closer to an AI with how he becomes almost becomes aware that he is living in a simulation or another reality or a simulation.
yeah,
If he was truly a branch of Wanda, right?
mhm,
Or a part of Wanda, then you'd think that he wouldn't come to that line of thinking because he already knows as a part of Wanda.
yeah. So I guess remember our initial theories about how Wanda's kind of creating this out of grief? Maybe that's not entirely true with the way, because if Vision's not actually an extension of Wanda, maybe there's something else going on. Maybe something to do with Mephisto or something.
Yeah.
Perhaps, but at the same time, she is also she is fully in control,
Of Vision.
or most likely in full control of
Of
this.
the world, yeah.
Yeah.
That's also
So
true.
it might be Mephisto, with her getting pregnant, might be the Mephisto shit, but at the same time, it also could have been a manifestation of her desires with Vision, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of Mephisto and villains, I guess. We've been seeing a lot of Hydra references and stuff in
Oh yeah,
visual
in this
imagery,
episode,
advertising and stuff in the past few episodes.
I just said
I feel. Do you think this Hydra could be making some sort of return in this series?
Before I go into my point, I need to clarify that all of my takes and theories about the story are all from New Rockstars. I'm basically a New Rockstars reporter for this
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Stealing
But-
content.
Their
Hey,
theory was that you see the Hydra soap, you see the Stark toaster, you see the Strucker watch, and
Yeah.
on the walls there were images of the Hydra base in Sokovia
Strucker's
from a
Castle,
trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like Wanda is what do you call it? Like reflecting her memories and life into this reality. And these were important, like not good important, but life-changing people. They're
significant.
significant, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, Tony Stark with the maybe Anthony Stark who was his dad? Anthony
Yeah.
Stark?
Anthony.
Yeah,
Yes, it was Anthony Stark.
Anthony Stark probably did some stuff in Sokovia. Then Tony Stark did the Iron Legion stuff that didn't work out, and the Sokovians were angry at that.
Yeah.
And obviously Ultron was made
Yeah.
by him, technically.
Wanda did join, or did technically join the Avengers side after the events of Age of Ultron, right?
Oh, yeah,
Or did she go
definitely.
off with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm saying it could be her memories of people that she used to be and still is perhaps angry towards, or had these feelings. These are the strongest feelings that she would have had, and
Yeah.
they're reflected into this pocket reality. I think that's the leading theory behind the Hydra stuff.
All right. Yeah.
But would she be angry at Tony Stark though? Setting aside the Iron Legion thing that didn't really work, she was also technically part of the Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So wouldn't you think that they'd be on more
Oh no, but this is what she used to think. That's the point.
Ah,
That
fair,
she
fair,
used
fair.
to have these memories, and that's being
Yeah,
reflected. in her.
yes.
It's not a concrete theory, but it's all we've really got so far.
Actually, that kind of works a bit into the actual episode because she starts remembering about Quicksilver.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. I know Kelvin was very excited to hear that.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
our boy Quicksilver. He was not forgotten.
Yeah.
I also want to point out in the trailer there was a scene. Like we'll probably see this later on, but there was a scene where she's looking at probably the Mind Stone, and it looks like it's set inside the Hydra base. And Eric Voss's theory was that this would be her remembering what happened, and she was exposed to the Mind Stone, and there was like a blast in the trailer, and the theory is that she got the most of the radiation from the blast, and she got the most powers, but then the blast also got transferred to Pietro, who was a cell across from her, and she might feel guilt for letting giving Pietro his powers potentially.
Ah.
So
That's
that's like one. That's like another theory Eric Voss pointed out, and we can move on from here because these are all just theories.
Next one, I guess. You were talking about before, Dio. You want to talk about what's her name? Monica.
Rambo.
Sword Lady.
Yeah, something.
First time we're seeing the outside world is when
Yeah.
Sword Lady gets kicked out by
Gerald.
Wanda, basically.
Yeah. So this episode definitely confirms that she's not part of that reality. She's part of the actual real world, and she made her way into the. Yeah.
Or couldn't she have also been if like the theory that Wanda's keeping people hostage there? Wouldn't it be possible that she was just someone who was also taken hostage but then kicked out afterwards? There's also that possibility.
Actually, no, that could. You might be right, because at the end she gets kicked out, right? And the Shield agent, sorry, not Shield, the Sword agents come. But they're like all pointing guns at her. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
which is weird.
I think the
so.
point of them pointing guns at her was that we don't know what happened to you. You could have like become possessed or something.
That is also a valid point. Yeah.
People are afraid of the unknown.
And
Yeah.
she did have a sword.
Yeah, she did have a swords like necklace.
Yeah.
At the same time, like if she was gonna go in, you'd think that she wouldn't have something so obvious on her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, wait. Like, if we go through the previous episodes, did she have it on her before, or even like in the previous?
She
Yeah.
did, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But none of us noticed. I don't think.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
She had that necklace since episode 2, which when
Yeah.
she appeared.
Ah, okay.
Did she appear in episode 1 or episode 2? I forgot.
Episode 2, she was like, "My name is Geraldine." Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the closest. Oh, fuck. What am I trying to say? I guess our best theory is that she was like sent in by
Yeah.
Sword.
But at the same time, it's also sort of weird that if it was Sword outside that pocket reality, then like pointing guns at her is quite hostile towards your own agent, no?
Yeah. Oh, we'll see in episode 4, eh? Last thing here, egg analogy, Sunny.
Yeah, I was gonna. So Kelvin brought up an egg, and I don't think anyone I watch, which is only Eric Voss, I don't think Eric Voss has brought anything up about an egg. Oh, he has actually. So basically, if you think about the pocket reality as an egg, and how it's gonna hatch and something's gonna come out of it, like
Yes.
Wanda is like the yolk for whatever's growing inside this pocket reality that Mephisto has laid.
Yeah.
The thought of a devil laying an egg is not so appealing, but you get the analogy.
Maybe that could also factor in, like eggs. They could have little baby fucking chicks in it, right?
Yeah, I just
Maybe
remembered.
this whole reality could potentially be something to do with Mephisto and like harvesting her child. That kind of goes back to a theory in the last episode. So maybe
On,
that's
like, the
the egg. That's how an egg could
Yeah.
work as well.
I was just gonna say on like the posters that came out counting down to the release,
Yeah.
there was a picture framed with like a nest with 3 eggs in it. There's 3 eggs. It doesn't. It's not referring to her 2 children. So could it be referring to WandaVision and someone else? We don't know.
True.
On other posters, there was a phoenix chicken and a fairy wren, which would represent Wanda and Vision. But the picture with like 3 eggs in it is like the topic of speculation. So there's a lot of analogies that can be made between like births, children, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And perhaps there's, that's the egg analogy. I don't know.
I think the most obvious egg analogy you can make is obviously a reference to the Woo Awards, considering that Child Woo is an egg. Yeah, I think director.
If you haven't watched the Woo Awards already, what are you doing here?
Exactly. Fuck
Go
off.
on.
Yeah. Any further speculation, theories, spoiler points you want to bring up? I'll take that silence as a no.
Did Jimmy Woo appear in this episode? Because didn't you say Jimmy Woo would appear in episode 3?
He might have been one of the random sword agents that we didn't get to look at clearly. Like he's listed on the cast list, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He should be.
Yeah.
But just a little thing.
But then I remember IMDb's not always accurate, so it might not. He might not have, because that was like, I guess might have been speculation. Because that was a week ago. Actually, no, but the episode was out a week ago for critics. So I have no idea, but
all we know is that Jimmy Woo is definitely in this series, and that's it.
Yeah.
So yes. That's about it.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the final verdicts. Welcome back, those who skipped the spoiler zone. All right, take it away, starting with Dio.
Pretty cool episode. Quite a bit happened. Gave us a bit more insight on what the whole overall plot of the show is about. More clues on what the simulation thing is about. Pretty cool, eh? 7.5 out of 10.
All right, for me, I think this was mostly a better episode than the last two because it furthered the plot along. Though I think it does have some issues with balancing the sitcom aspect and the overall story. And I'm feeling a light 8 on this one.
All right.
Kelvin?
For this one, I would probably say a nice 7.5.
All right, Sandeep?
8. Average 7.5. Easy clap.
Man.
Nice. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Let us know what you guys think. What are your theories? Comment below. What does the egg mean? Comment. Yeah. Give us a like. Give this video a like. Subscribe for more egg.
See you next
Well
time.
done.
Yeah, see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.